Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Mitchell. I'm with Intent One. Intent One's primary mission is to help you achieve solid, measurable goals using a mix of digital and mental management tools. Our video today is to help you complete a questionnaire that will allow us to see your goals, to help you to build goals in a way that actually works, and to take that information and to build a recording for you that you can listen to on a daily basis to manage your thinking and to get you off to a great start and to generate motivation for you when you get to a place where you're just not feeling it and it takes you back to the things that are important to you. The first thing I wanted to do is share the difference between several types of goals. There are three fundamental types of goals. There are superordinate goals, which are top level goals that are kind of more like values. There are intermediate goals, which are short term goals, and then there are subordinate goals, which are near term, daily, weekly kinds of goals. So a superordinate top level goal might be something like, I want to be in great health. Well, if you think about this, there's no end date on this and there's no amount or quantity. And the reason for that is the superordinate goal is kind of like a value. It's something that's an ideal state. It's something that may potentially never be achieved in a lifetime, but it may be. And so it is not something that there's an end date to. It's something that we want to continue for the rest of our life. And if you say, I want to be in great health, that's something that we don't want to be in great health just for a week and say, okay, I accomplished it, yay. We basically want to say, I am in great health and we're in the best possible health until we're no longer breathing. The second kind of goal, the intermediate goal, is a short-term goal. For the purposes of the work we do here, we look at short-term goals as things that last from 3 months to 6 months. So we might have an intermediate goal that is something like, if health is your superordinate goal, then an intermediate goal may be, I want to have my weight down to 180 pounds by June 1st of this year. Let's say it's February and we want to have that done by June 1st. So that is a very clear goal that's measurable and achievable. We don't want goals that are not achievable. We don't want goals that are not measurable. And measurable goals have an activity that we want to be able to measure. We want to have the measurement and we want to have an end date. So those are the three parts of an intermediate goal. And then there's subordinate goals. And subordinate goals, for the purposes of our work, are daily and weekly goals. And a daily goal might be that I'm going to only consume or that I'm going to consume less than 3,000 calories per day. You might have other goals related to your superordinate health goal and your intermediate weight goal that are something like, I'm going to go to the gym and work out 3 days a week. And you would do this until you reached your intermediate goal. So those are the kinds of goals. When you come into the Intent One questionnaire, you'll end up on a page like this. If you haven't already registered, you'll need to register. If you have registered, then you can just log in and it'll take you to this first page. Now I'm using my own questionnaire just so you guys can see how this works. The first question here is naming the area of life that are most important to you, no less than 3 areas, no more than 5. And the reason we use these numbers is that 3 is highly achievable, 5 less achievable, and even in this questionnaire, we're only going to work on your top 3. But the purpose of this is to put these in order so that you can see what are the top and most important. For me, it's always excellent physical health because my take on it is that, if I'm dead, then none of the rest of these matter. My second is always my mental health because even if I'm alive, if I have poor mental health, the rest of these are going to be very difficult to achieve. Or if I do achieve them, I may not be happy. And then my third one is my family and personal relationships. It doesn't matter to me if I'm financially independent or I'm very educated if I don't get along with the people that are around me and the people that I care about. So we are doing this work so that you can have a clear vision of these goals, building solid mental frameworks that say, this is number one, this is number two, this is number three, makes it really easy for us to make decisions. If I have to make a decision today about whether I'm going to read a book or go to the gym, I'm going to the gym because the gym is going to help me with my physical health. Now, if I've gone to the gym plenty this week, but I'm behind on my reading, then I can catch up on my reading based on how my goals are laid out. The reason that we're doing this work is so that we can develop a subconscious neural framework that holds all this stuff because, if you think about it, your conscious thinking requires awareness. You have to be aware, number one, that things aren't going the way that you've planned them. Number two, you have to figure out the actions to take. Number three, you have to convince yourself to take the actions. And then number four, you have to take the actions and then continue through with the action. The nice thing about subconscious behaviors is that you don't even have to think about it. You just do it. You kind of do it out of habit. You do it because your mind is steering you that way. So we're here to build those frameworks, the mental frameworks physically inside your brain by doing this work so that you don't have to think about it. You just kind of act on it. And it does take time, but through repeated use of mental imagery and relaxation and the other things that we use here, you can do that. So the next question is a short paragraph that describes what your life would look like if you achieved your three most important goals over the next 5 years. And then please also describe your ideal self. So basically you're saying here, when I achieve these particular goals, this is how it's going to look. And the way it looks is your ideal self. My ideal self is body fat below 13%, a heart rate of 50 beats a minute, normal blood sugar levels, huge amounts of energies and no inflammation, and so on. A clear mind, high levels of awareness. This is what it will look like. So I'll save and continue and go on to the next. Now, this is an intermediate goal, and we've given you the option of doing 1 to 3 solid short-term goals. And the reason we do that is really simple. There's a law of diminishing intent, which basically says the more goals you have, the greater the chance that you will not complete them, because one goal will take energy away from the other goals. So for me, health is my top priority. So I ask myself, what is the most important thing I can do in the next 3 to 6 months to support that goal and move me toward better health? And so what my answer to that question is, take the 10 most vital health score tests. So I'm going to take tests that include a full body scan, a cancer screen, microbiomes, body measurements, diet, metabolism, etc. As a result of doing that, then I can get a really clear picture of what my health actually looks like and then make really good decisions. It's great if I'm taking supplements every day, but if they're the wrong supplements, who cares? It's great if I'm going to the gym every day, but if I'm lifting weights instead of doing work on my cardiovascular, which is my weakness, then that doesn't make sense. So I want to test all this and make sure that as I'm planning out my health improvement practices, that I have good information to support it. So that's my goal for the next 3 months. Now, the amount of the goal you name, I have 10 tests to take. So my goal is to take all 10. Okay. Then the date that it's going to be achieved, I plugged in the date here. And this page on the worksheet will not save if you don't complete these. And then the last one is describe how you will feel. What does this look like? So I'll be extremely calm, knowing I have a clear picture of where my health actually stands. I'll be able to make very informed decisions about my diet, workouts, sleep, and other habitual behaviors. I want to improve, add, or remove, blah, blah, blah. But basically, that's how you answer this question. Now, these need to be very specific. You can't just say, for an intermediate goal, you can't just say, I want to be in great health. That's too general. It's really difficult to measure that because, relatively speaking, if somebody has cancer and you don't have cancer, then you're in good health. So you have to say what it is. Okay. Now, I didn't finish the next 2 pages because we only ask you to do 1 to 3 solid short-term goals. If you're doing this for the first time, you may only want to do 1 or 2. So you can't go forward without completing the first goal set. But the second and third short-term goals, you can just skip those. If you do them, then they should repeat the process that we explained on the previous page. So I'm going to save and continue this one blank and save and continue this one blank. The next one is habit replacement. So success is built from habits, and having a clear image of what a habit looks like uh, allows the subconscious to do work instead of having to use the conscious mind. And the way to build habits is relatively simple. Number one, you can practice doing that habit on a constant basis. The other thing you can do is you can imagine doing that habit on a constant basis. The brain doesn't know any difference between what you actually do and what you imagine. So, what we do to replace habits is we take the habits that we don't like, inconsistency with my morning routine, especially getting up at different times of the morning. This is what I do now. This is what I want to do. I get up at the same time every morning, start my day with the same consistent morning routine. I'm pretty good at this, but I'm not 100%. I like to be 100%. I have a morning recording, calisthenics and mobility, a healthy breakfast and supplementation, and I listen to an audiobook. This is how I start all my mornings. For the most part, I like to make it more consistent. Then I want to discuss uh, what it looks like if I am doing the habit. And as a result of this, I do this thing where I'm building neural pathways in my mind by imagining it that gives the mind the sense that I am already doing it. And that's how we change our habits. So we're not going to just try to get rid of a bad habit. We're going to try to add a better habit that makes this one uh, extinct, that extinguishes the bad habit. So I imagine myself waking and listening to this recording. I'm comfortable and relaxed and completely focused. I see myself enjoying the stressful time in the morning. I listen to my recording until I'm fully relaxed. I enjoy listening to my recording. It reminds me what's most important to me. I love imagining myself focused on my physical and mental health, my relationships, my inspirations. I see myself getting out of bed. Notice I see myself getting out of bed and going through my morning body prep routine. You can see my muscles. I love seeing how amazing my body looks, and I enjoy every repetition, knowing it makes me stronger, a better athlete, blah, blah, blah. So basically, what I'm doing is saying this is what the image of me participating in this habit looks like. Okay, so bad habit, replacement habit, and then what it looks like. So, same thing with the limiting belief. So, limiting beliefs hold us back. They are built into our neural pathways just like bad habits. And I say limiting beliefs are actually bad habits. They're thinking a certain way when things come up, like I can never do this. So my uh, belief that I want to replace is I am not consistent enough. What I'm going to replace it with is I consistently complete my planned activities. And so what it looks like is I work 8 hours today with a focus on building my business, my own personal development, and managing the details of my finances. Blah, blah, blah. But I go through this whole thing, and this is what it would look like if I adopted this new belief. So this is what it would look like. Uh, and then save and continue. Once we save and continue here, we'll get a page that shows your general goal setting results. And then if you hover over this report, you can click here and then it will show you the details that you wrote down so you can print it or do whatever you need to do with it. And that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, please send us an email or talk to your coach. If you have trouble going through these, your coach is always there to help you out with it. All right. Thanks so much and good luck on your goal setting.